The river Anduin is as familiar to me as my own shadow, but it is still a journey of some days. We must stop here for the night.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. We are continuing along in our journey with Horn and Nona. And Corden, how safe a place is this to stop? That is far enough for today, Pineleaf. Horn has already seen to the fire, so now we may sup and take some rest before the night watches begin. We will leave in the morning at first light. It is not good to travel further south on the Anduin at night, unless the need is considerable. The waters become treacherous thus near to the Sarn Gebir. Let's join our companions. Alright. It's a good fire. Thank you, Corden. Hey there, Horn. You are fortunate to have friends among the elves, Pineleaf. I would not want to make this journey without a guide, and Corden appears to know what he is doing. But it is not seemly for a man of Rohan to mingle with elves, as you saw in Stangard. Of his kind, my people have little to say but this: long-lived and dangerous. They have more to say on the folk of Dunland, but none of its kind, and I will not disturb the girl's ears with any of it. I regret Nona's ill welcome at Stangard when she would had need of aid, though I understand its root. Her people and mine have a long and unhappy history. I have no quarrel with her personally, but our shared friends and duties make us allies. Nothing more than that. All right. And what do you say, Nona? The Elf Queen was right to send this guide with us, Pineleaf. He knows the waters and how to keep the boat afloat, which is more than this daughter of Suvaluk knows. Were it up to me, I would have led us south on dry land with springy turf underfoot, and no fear of foundering. The boat is not large enough to keep us from speaking, Pineleaf, but, as you saw, this horse lord managed to avoid addressing me in any way once we were in the river. If he has a grievance with me, tell him to air it so that I may respond appropriately, with words and with Wadu's sword. I have become tired of his ability to look in all directions but in mine, whatever direction that happens to be. A little bit of cool reception there. We have some time before we should begin the night watches, Pineleaf. Would you find some tale-telling agreeable? I find that the weaving of a good story among companions around the fire can be a good pleasant way to pass the time. Have a seat and listen, Pineleaf. I will begin, and perhaps our companions will have a tale to share as well. I grew up in the Golden Wood, but I spent most of my time exploring the wilderness. My sister Sigilith stayed in Lorien for long years, but not in idleness. My skill was with the bow, but hers was with knives. She made them for herself, and each was deadlier than the last. I returned from a journey once convinced that I was the greatest of all archers. Is that so? I wager you cannot hit this wooden target from 50 paces. I accepted and strode 50 paces. When I turned the fire, I saw that my sister was right. She had hewn the target at a space, and it had fallen into the grass. Oh, we laughed and laughed. That is my tale. Do you have one to share, Pineleaf? Oh yes, which tale to tell? There should be plenty of these. Oh, we have, speaking of Angmar, speaking of Dol the Fords of Eisen, speaking of seeking a Nazgul. Alright, the Nazgul, of course, was with Nona. That might hit a little bit too close to home. So it might tell us the circumstances of us being here. The Fords of Eisen. Dol Guldur is, of course, with Sigalith. And Angmar. Oh yeah, that was quite a story there. How about following up Corridon's story? I am familiar with this tale, as it involves my sister Sigalith. The sorrow is still with me, but it is good to think of my sister again. I would like to hear the story. Very well, let's begin. You speak of the role of fighting in the evil against Dol Guldur alongside the Golden Host. With this axe and mithril, not even the ruler of the tower can keep Mazag a prisoner. You speak of Mazag and the axe Ziegelberg, and of Sieglit's heroic end. After a time, your story comes to an end. I shall go next. My tale concerns King Fengel of Rohan, the grandfather of Theoden King. It is a sad tale, given the happening of late, but you may find it interesting, all right? King Fengel came to the throne when he was young, and he ruled for 50 years. So, though long, his rule was ill-starred. He was prone to greed and made many enemies. In the last winter of his reign, he was hunting north of the Entwade on a cold afternoon. An elderly woman stumbled into his camp. She was lost and hungry. A scrap of bread, if you will please, my mighty lord. I am lost and cold and hungry. Who are you, crone? I uh, to beg from the crown. If you seek warm food in your belly, find some churl whose bed lies unwarmed, or find some game and kill it yourself. King Fingal threw his own dagger at her feet and sent her away into the dark night. This is the kindness of the horse lords, is it? Horn did say that Fingal was a foolish king. He did say that, and I say he spoke true, but it does not seem to be an uncommon trait among the horse lords. The king's men were horrified, and they searched for the woman. They found her at dawn, frozen to death in the foot of a tall boulder, the king's dagger still in her hand. She had carved a curse into the face of the stone, along with her name, Weriende. This is what she carved into the stone. Feckless Fengel, fool I name thee, grief shall be the get of thy greed. No lord of your line shall long live, upon thy seat no son shall settle. Kin and kingdom your craving hath killed, until the might of the mark is mended. Weriende. King Fengel was furious, and he ordered Weriende's body burned and the stone destroyed. But no man of his company could move her, and every hammer and mattock they set upon the stone shattered on contact. So the body could not be moved. He ordered Weriende's body burned and the stone destroyed. But no one could move her. Nasty stuff. King Fengel himself assailed the stone with his sword until the blade shattered and the shard pierced his thigh. The wound festered, and King Fengel died of poisoned blood on the first day of spring. Many in Rohan thought the curse was ended, but now Prince Theodred is gone. Well, that is the end of the tale for now. So therefore, my story, if I had told the story of the Fords of Eisen, would have tied into Horn's story. And Nona? I do not have a flowery words to turn a phrase that Corden and this man Horn have, Pineleaf. I write my tales in the height of my enemies. What Wadu's sword is my quill. Ooh. I have no story to tell. Everyone has a story, Nona. What is the origin of the sword that you bear? The horse motif is not of your people. The sword came to my brother Wadu. He used it to slay a great beast. What is this beast? A large animal of some kind? A bear? It was a great Gui-bear, the mighty dragon spawn of the mountains. Can it be? I know of no such creature. There is much about my land and people that you do not know. That may be so, Nona. I'm sorry if I offended you. Your brother must have been a great man to defeat such a foe. He was. I think that's enough tale spinning for one night, Pineleaf. I will take the first watch, and will wake you when it is your turn. We will set out again at first light. Behold, the Argonath, a tribute to the kings of Gondor of old. And we have landed in the southern parts of Rohan now, and continuing along on our quest. What do you say, Horn?
They are not my kings, but there is still something majestic about the twin statues.
Something majestic about the Argonath. Many songs have been sung about the men in whose likeness they are carved, and I know most of them by heart. I will not sing them now. There is too much that we must do here. So you'll say I'll take up too much time?
Friends of yours came this way. Friends bearing a burden of some malice.
Horn speaks quietly, for what he has to say is meant for my ears alone. We spoke of a great many things on the boat, and I do not begrudge you for speaking in generalities, but you told me enough to know your errand here is important. Friends of yours came this way bearing a burden of great malice. Whatever they carried, it was sought by orcs, and perhaps others as well. We need to find what happened, to find these friends of yours, and to find their burden that has been lost. Horn raises his voice to include the Rohirrim man standing nearby. This man saw our boat drifting down the river and hailed me from the shore. His name is Framrik, and he has come with a party of Rohirrim to the wold. I would have us help his people if they desire our help. But first, we must prepare our own camp. Speak with Nona and Corridon for their thoughts, and then collect the sticks for fire. I will do the same. Alright, first I need to speak with Nona. What do you say, Nona?
I do not trust this Framrik, but Horn wants us to help him.
I do not like the way that Framrik looks at me from out of his eye's corner. If he is not careful, I will teach him the way of my people with Wadu's sword. But Horn wants us to help him. I do not understand his loyalty to the horse lords. They cast him out. He should hate them for that. I will not impose my beliefs upon him, but I do not understand his. Well, difficult at times. And what does Corridon have to say?
The Lady Galadriel entrusted me with knowledge of our true mission.
You spoke in general terms in the boat to Horn and Nona, but I know why we are really here, Pineleaf. The Lady Galadriel entrusted me with the knowledge of our true mission. I will not betray that trust. While we are here in the East Wall, I think it is fine for us to help Framrik's people. That is clear that Horn desires it. But we must also keep alert for signs of our mutual friends. They came to this land. That we know. What happened to them? And that is a mystery, and it is one that we find the answers to, and then we come to help them if we can. But first, Horn is right. We must gather sticks for the campfire, or we will have a cold night. Apparently my... What kind of damage do I do on my sword here? +4 damage on orc kind. Oh, okay. Aha, okay, I got the numeric. Or I was wondering, why is it that that my sword is glowing whenever an orc comes nearby? Okay, I must be getting close to that thing now. Let's take care of this Uruk archer. Actually, oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking for the distraction skill because I've been playing the burglar a lot lately. So I was wondering, where's the distraction skill? I know it's here somewhere. He's right. I'm in stealth. Shouldn't I be able to distract him? No, that's the burglar skill. Oh, that's the problem with playing a warden and a burglar at the same time. They both have opening attacks from stealth. Fallen sticks, right? Or is it had nothing? Where's this glowing nothing to do with orcs? It definitely has something to do with orcs. It's just that before I saw it started glowing right after combat because it doesn't glow during combat because the spear is no longer on my back. So it's a little bit hard for them to animate, probably, with the when the spear is in my hand and being flung all over the place. You see now it's off because the orc is dead and there are no other orcs particularly close by. Alright. There you go. Now. Horn, I got the sticks.
You found some. Good. Now remove the supplies from the boat.
Aye, aye, sir. Alright, let's get the supplies from the boat. Let's see. And remove the supplies. I get some superior apple and cheese pies. Yeah. And also some cups of superior second breakfast coffee blend. And what do I have here for? I already have some of that. Of course, I already have most of these things because, well, that's what I have. Let's see, white puddings. Oh yeah, critical defense, vitality, might, vitality. I will take the bacon wrap flapjacks. There are enough supplies for a short stay, and you divide it among the rest of your companions. All right, good.
Parth Galen may be a good place to begin our search.
I think it's good for you to help Famric while we can, but always keep your eyes open for the real reason we are here. As you pass southward through the woods of the east wall, remain alert for a grassy lawn alongside the Anduin. That peaceful place is called Parth Galen, and it may be a good place to begin our search. Alright, so I'll find Parth Galen, but not until I have helped this guy right here.
I need your help if you can aid me.
I am Framrik, a man of Rohan proud and true, and I need your help. Orcs have crossed the river. Yeah, I ran into a few of them. And now they swarm throughout the land, all along the east wall of my homeland. I came south from the wold with a party of some 30 riders to investigate what could have drawn the orcs across the great river. When we arrived, the force was even larger than we expected, and they set upon us. We drove them away, but suffered many losses, and our camp is now in disarray. My people could use your help to restore the camp and make it safe at the border of Rohan. Go to the southwest, near the passage of the Norcross. Make your presence known to my brothers, and you will wish to aid us. If you wish to aid us, alright, fine. Good. So, riders afoot. Alright, well, of course, there are two meanings to the word afoot. Either they are about and in the area, or they are literally on their feet instead of on horseback. Interesting. And I guess I'm gonna have to kill a sizable number of orcs before I could finish out my deeds for this area. Of course, I have a little while here in Rohan. Actually, it'll only be East Rohan where these will count, because I am sure there is a full another set of deeds for West Rohan when that opens up, because the latest updates on the Legendary server have only included Eastern Rohan and Wildermore. Western Rohan will be part of the next update, I'm pretty sure. Next update, I mean about, well, I guess 4 to 5 months, most likely. Rohan's big on it, so I'm hoping they have a 4 to 5 month wait between instead of a 3-month one like they had after a couple of the earlier expansions. Alright, so we get around here. And let's make it towards the camp, which is where I'll meet you in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.